Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome back to Sunday Night Satsang with John and
Michelle. Yes, hi everyone.
Hi. It's been a bit of a break, long break, and in the while that we've been away, we've had a whole new year.
We have indeed.
A whole new year,
Yep,
2022.
It's a nice number.
It is a very nice number.
Feels quite balanced.
Yeah.
Feels like a balanced number.
Yeah, so we're glad to be back, and we welcome all our old faithful Satsangis, or whatever, not Satsangis, Satsang.
Jeez, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Welcome, thank you for joining us. Yeah, we love to know who we're talking to, so if you can just let us know. Hello, Helen. We missed you too, Helen. Thank you for your comments. Send us comments, let us know where you're from and what your weather is like there, because we've had some hot weather in Cape Town here where we are. And we love getting your hearts. And if you find what we have to share valuable, then please press the like and the share button.
It helps
get it out there. It really does. Yeah. So welcome to a brand new year. And tonight we're going to be looking at this year, 2022, and we're going to be looking at shining a light into the year. So Michelle's going to give us a little bit of interesting astrology on this year that we're entering. You know, we've been through 2 years of quite a lot of turmoil.
Quite a lot.
I know in 2019, Michelle was going around the country doing a talk called The Winds of Change, predicting that there was going to be big change in January 2020.
Yep.
And she was spot on with that. So let's see what she has to say for the year ahead this year. And we're going to be just giving you some few tools, reminders of what you need to carry within you to be resilient and to cope with these winds of change, this whole new process of transformation that we're busy with at the moment. You know, this is like, as we said before, this is like a birthing process. And it ain't easy.
No.
Not that I've ever given birth to a baby, but I've watched it a few times.
But I think we've got some help this year. I think we've got some more help this year.
Definitely got some help. Well, we've always got help around us, but this year, according to the astrology, I think we've got a bit more help, haven't we?
Yeah, it seems so.
Yeah, so maybe it's not going to be...
some miracles even. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I believe in miracles.
Yeah,
do you believe in miracles?
You know, if you don't believe in miracles, they can't happen. So
that's right, yeah.
Let's just believe they are and they can.
I've had many miracles show up in my life, and I think now's a good time for a miracle to show up.
I think so too. I think we could do with a few. Hey?
Yeah. Hello, Christine.
Hello, Suzanne.
Hi.
Christine. Hi.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Beautiful to have you with us.
So let's do the really important work of the evening, and that is bringing ourselves into reality, which is the here and now, withdrawing our mind from our stories, which we've been very busy with today, no doubt. All the drama, conversations. We've had such a pleasant weekend away, so no drama there.
No, it's been lovely.
Been lovely. We went out to the winelands and we saw some beautiful people there in Wolseley.
Yeah,
beautiful farm. So we've had a lovely weekend away. So let's just gently settle down into our chairs or bed or floor, wherever you're sitting or lying at the moment. And just gently withdraw your mind from all of the times and all of the places. And you might like to just gently close your eyes and just bring your awareness inwards. Bring your awareness into the here and now, into the body. Your body is always in the here and now. It's only our mind that plays the game of time, of memory and anticipation, where all the challenges and problems and anxiety and fears and regrets and anger come from. So let's just withdraw our mind from yesterday and tomorrow and just become supremely focused in the here and now. And we do that by focusing our awareness on the physical body. It's amazing how quickly we can clear the mind if we focus on certain aspects of the body. Like, for example, where you're sitting right now. Just feel the sensation coming into you from the chair or the bed, coming into where it meets your body. And just feel that for a moment. Just feel that sensation directly, not through memory, but just directly in this moment. Feel it fully, here and now. And notice what happens to you as you do that. Such a simple technique, but it very quickly clears the mind of a lot of the jumble going on there. Become aware of the soles of your feet. Become aware of where the soles of your feet meet the ground beneath you. Become aware of your hands, particularly the palms of your hands. Just bring your awareness fully into the palms of your left and right hands. And now let's just focus fully into the right palm. Just feel, if you can feel a vortex of energy in the middle of your palm on your right hand. You might like to hold your hands slightly apart, 6 inches, 7 inches apart, palms facing each other, and just see if you can feel that energy in the palm of your right hand and feel it connecting with the palm of your left hand. Feel a sort of ball of energy between the two hands. Left hand, right hand, and the space between. Now while you hold this ball of energy between your hands, if you move your hands in and out slightly, you might be able to feel a little bit of resistance, almost like a rubber ball or rubber band between your hands. Just try that. At the same time as holding this ball in your hands, or between the palms of your hands, become aware of your feet on the floor and see if you can connect in one go your hands and your feet in your awareness. So you become simultaneously aware of the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet in one go. And as you do that, just notice how much more centered and how much more present you become. Now take a very deep breath in. As we breathe in, we pull the diaphragm down, so we blow our tummy up like a big ball, and then we breathe out by squeezing our belly button back to touch the spine. And then we take another deep breath in again, drawing the air right the way down, blowing the tummy up, and then that releasing breath. And as you breathe out this time, just drop your shoulders and relax your neck muscles. Just let it all go. Take a third very deep breath in, and this time pull it right down to the soles of your feet. So you pull it right down into your body. And as you breathe out, just release everything that no longer serves you in this moment. All the past, future, just let it go. Just become aware of your forehead, your cheeks and your jaw. Just smooth away any worry lines from your forehead. Become aware of the temperature of the room on your cheeks. And just release any tension in your jaw. And just allow life to breathe you in and out, focusing on the tip of your nose. Just becoming aware of the breath, the in and the out breath. See if you can pick up the temperature change between the two in your nostrils. Just allow life to breathe you. The same intelligence that orchestrates the sun and the moon and the stars breathes you, beats your heart, digests your food, and is capable of organizing everything in your life synchronistically if we allow it, if we get the mind out of the way. Just dissolve the blockages between us and life. And life is only ever present. Life is only ever in the here and now. You're only ever breathing now. Your heart is beating now. And in this moment, life is animating your body. And as we surrender in this moment completely to life in this moment, we become more intuitive, more intelligent. Our heart opens. We become more loving, more connected, more caring, more empathetic. We have more compassion. And we open ourselves up to something called grace. And as we become more present and more aligned with life in this moment, so we allow grace to flow through us into the world, to create the miracles that are needed right now in the world, to dissolve the darkness and allow our unique individual lights to shine more brightly into the world. We never need to fight darkness. Darkness automatically dissipates as the light brightens. There is no war between light and dark. Dark only prospers when there's a lack of light, and light is awareness and love. And as we shine our light, our conscious awareness, and our love and our openness into the world, so the light recedes, the darkness recedes. And as the darkness dissipates in the presence of light, so the miracles unfold and the healing takes place. Let peace be our purpose tonight. Take another very deep breath in, drawing the air right the way down the body and up into the top of the head, so you're blowing yourself up like a big ball. And then a beautiful long surrendering, releasing, relaxing breath out. And gently, very gently, when you're ready, you may open your eyes. And as you do so, just see how you feel in this moment. How do you feel? More peaceful, more relaxed, more centered, more present, hopefully.
That was lovely, John.
Thank you. Just type up in the box and let us know where you are tonight, where you're watching from, and how you feel in this moment.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, yes.
It was lovely. So we missed you all.
Yeah,
We're
we
back.
did. We did. Welcome.
And yeah, we're looking forward to the year. It's going to be a beautiful year, we believe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's lots in store and positive stuff and good
Yeah.
stuff coming up as well. So astrologically, energetically, and just in terms of what we choose, I think.
Yeah, it is. And it's very important at this time because we're in a very nebulous time. It's a process of birthing something new, which isn't fully formed yet.
Yeah.
So our thoughts and our intentions, our feelings, play a major role in the co-creation of what is being born right now.
That's it.
And having a vision, a clear vision of what it is you really, really, really want this year and for your life is really important.
And even for humanity.
For humanity as a whole.
It's not just for us even, it's for the whole of
Now is the time to realize that who you really are is the whole of humanity. There is no little me. We are the big me. We are the oceans. We are the forests. We are the fish. We are the birds. We are all of life. And so it's very important at this time to hold a great vision for humanity. For ourselves, we fit into that, but for the whole of humanity. And so on the 27th of this month, we are having a free week workshop. It's the first module of our 13-week online program called Journey to Freedom. But this week is called Life Vision Week.
And it's very in keeping with the theme of the year, actually, because I think this is the year that we can really create a new vision. And so we've done the life vision before, but I think that astrologically we have energy with us this year. So I'm going to try and sort of just explain that briefly for this community, most specifically, because you guys, many of you have actually been traveling with us for a long time, whether you've done our Journey to Freedom or you're on our inner space or you on our satsangs. So, we believe that this is kind of part of our community and you are part of bringing in this new vision. And so, we just call on you to, if you know anyone that would like to do the Vision Week, if you haven't done it.
It's free, by the way, no charge.
It's free. It's a free full week. And you get 2 Zoom calls, you get some journal questions, you get a creative project, you get a meditation, 2 meditations.
And all of it to help focus your awareness.
Everything to focus.
For the life vision. To just clear away those filters that block you from seeing clearly in life.
Yeah, and we'll really be working with more of the energetic alignments during that Vision Week as well, because it's very powerful stuff coming up. So we invite you to join us there. You go to Journeys of Awakening to join that. So we're starting this week actually with a full moon, which I've done a full moon thing, which actually went into a bit of the astrology for the year as well. So you'll be able to see that below on our Journeys of Awakening page. But tonight I just wanted to discuss a little bit more, and in particular one of the really big energy alignments that we have coming up this year, and that we can just discuss it. But I'm going to break it up. I'm going to do the full moon first, just a little bit. I came across a lovely acronym for this one. So full moon is 17th and 18th. So depending on where you are, for us in South Africa, it's the 18th in the early hours of the morning. So you can tune in with the energy of the full moon tomorrow night or the next night. And this full moon's in the sign of Cancer, which is the sign of home. It's the sign of nurturing. It's the sign of nourishing. It's fertile. Okay. It's also in a very close connection to the planet Pluto, which is the planet of transformation. And there's a whole lot of other things happening, but that's the main focus. And I came across a beautiful acronym, which is the word for home, which was basically, where did I write it down here? It was honoring. Now, hang on a second. Where was it? Because I wrote it down and now I can't find it.
And we're all on a journey home. That's really what it's all about, isn't it?
We're on a journey home.
The journey home.
And the acronym was either heaven on Mother Earth or hell on Mother Earth.
Yeah, that's lovely. And we get to choose.
And we get to choose.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
And I just thought that was such a beautiful acronym for this
hell
full moon.
on Mother Earth.
Do we want heaven on Mother Earth? And if so, what seeds are we planting?
Yeah.
How are we nurturing that? How are we nourishing that? What are we going to grow? So this is a very, very fertile full moon. And so it's a full moon where we're focusing on growing, on nurturing, on saying, what do we need to weed out of our garden so that we actually make space for the new? Full moons are always a time to release. So what do I need to release? Where are those insecurities that might be holding me back for actually really stepping into my true fullness? So imagine that you're planting a garden. That's, for me, that's what the energy is about. Also, where can I collaborate? So where, for example, am I working on my own and could be collaborating with other people? Where might I need some help from other people instead of trying to do it all on my own? It's also calling on us to be mature in our choices. Like, am I taking on too much? Am I doing too little? Do I need to just look at the balance? And so really looking at what is the state of our home, and not just our physical home. Physical home comes into it for sure, but what's the state of our inner home? And I believe that's a very big theme for the whole year. And because it's the first full moon of the year, it sort of gives us a clue for that. So that's specifically the full moon. There is going to be quite a lot of intensity around this one. It is in the sign of Cancer after all, and Cancer is a water sign, and it's quite emotional. So emotional stuff can come up, home stuff can come up, family stuff can come up. But if it does come up, just know that it's coming up so that you can feel it, you can look at it, and you can let go of whatever you're seeing. So it's giving us a sort of an investigative energy so that we can really look at it. Full moons always shine the light. They shine the light on whatever is there. So it gives us a chance to actually see it, which is why some people find full moons difficult, because they often show you your stuff or show you other people's stuff. So it's just to see that, and it's also a very intuitive full moon. So it's a beautiful one to dream in the new. And that kind of leads me, so John, I don't know if you're feeling that, but I can feel this energy building already to the full moon. And the full moon's almost full already.
The moon's almost full, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the theme just for the full moon. And then when we look at the bigger picture, literally the bigger picture, I'm just going to run through a few of the transits, which I have gone into more detail in my blog. The Saturn-Uranus connection that we've had the whole of last year continues, but it's not as intense because it's a little bit further away, but it's still going to continue. The old versus the new, control versus freedom, top-down governments and that kind of thing versus the people. Those themes are very much still in play this year, and they're going to sort of come possibly to a head in October-ish. October's looking like quite an interesting month. Uranus, the planet of change, is very strong this year, very strong. And Uranus is the planet of awakening. It's the planet of consciousness. It's saying, where's our consciousness? What do we need to actually do to step into this new earth? And Uranus is the planet of change, new, visionary, in the sign of Taurus, which is earth, new earth. So I mean, it's literally, that's what's being highlighted. It's also being highlighted by the movement of the lunar nodes. If any of you know what the lunar nodes are, it's the karmic axis. It's the nodes of the moon. On the same day as the full moon, they move into a new sign, and a sign. So you've got the north node in Taurus, the South Node in Scorpio, which is a big shift because for the last, I think it's 18 months or so, they've been moving through the signs of Gemini and Sagittarius, which is quite head-oriented. And if most of you will bear it out, that a lot of us have spent our times with our heads in media and listening and looking and trying to find out what's true and what's not true. And this shift on the new moon, on the full moon, is moving into the sign of Taurus, the North Node, which is where the focus is in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. Venus rules love. So what that says is that there's a shift happening from head more to heart, from sort of information to intuition, listening, earthing, grounding, simplifying, slowing down. That's the nodal shift. And because of the fact that Uranus is actually in the sign of Taurus, it actually activates the Uranus energy, which is the awakening of the new earth. So I'm not making it up. That's what the astrology is saying. Okay? So it's backing up what I think a lot of us feel and know to be true. And then there's something else that I want to chat about.
So this is a serious journey this year from head into the heart. And, you know, a lot of people have experienced a lot of fear and anxiety and worry the last couple of years.
Huge.
And that all happens in the head. If you are worrying, if you're fearful, if you're anxious, it's happening here. When we move into the heart, there is just stillness. There is peace. There is things even like joy, for example, here in this moment. It's right here, right now. All we have to do is make this journey from the head to the heart. It's the longest journey that we'll ever take for the shortest distance to a place that we never left, because in fact our true awareness is love. It is the heart. That's our true home. And it's interesting to see that this is coming through in astrology. So it's about coming home to the heart. Heart is where the home is. The head is not where the home is.
No, definitely not.
That's where the worry is, the anxiety and the fear and the resentment and the guilt. And all of that happens upstairs here. So if you have been feeling anything other than pure peace the last couple of years, just know that your mind's in control. And awakening, which is obviously what this year is really about, is about awakening. Awakening isn't having some bells and whistles appear in the clouds above us. I mean, if that happens, it's wonderful. But it actually is about awakening from the noise of the mind. That's really what it is. Eckhart, I know, was speaking about how do we measure the degree of spiritual advance on our journey. And it's the same for awakening. It's really the cessation of thinking. How much of your day is spent in thought, which is generally repetitive recycling of old information, and how much time do you spend in presence and peace? Just being with what is in this moment. You know, if you're in a conversation, just being with the other person. If you're driving a car, just driving a car. If you're shopping, just shopping, as against a whole story that goes with driving a car, talking to a person, shopping, making a sort of sending emails or whatever. There's a story attached to all of that. So really this, the sort of criteria as to how far we are in our journey is how much stillness we bring into our doing and how much noise occupies us on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. And that feeds in so well to the next big, very big alignment that's coming up. So John's been mentioning stillness and the fact that we're not separate, and that's another beautiful theme. And we have not had this before in our lives. And that is coming up in April. And so what we've got at the moment is what the planet Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, abundance, you could say miracles, you could say it's a good planet. It's known as a beneficial planet. That's moved recently into the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is about oneness. It's about spiritual connection. It's about beingness, okay? So there's an expansion of that beingness. So that's just the one thing. Jupiter going into Pisces, okay? And it's going to be going through Pisces for a while, and then it's going to be quickly, and then it's going to go into Aries. So we've got a kind of a short time, then it'll go retrograde, but for a short time where it's going to be very intense, because in April, actually the 12th of April, it comes into a conjunction, which means it meets another planet, which is Neptune. And these two only meet once every 13 years, okay, because they've got different orbits. Jupiter travels quite fast. It takes 12 years to go around, and Neptune takes hundreds of years to go around. So they only meet once in a while. What happens though is they only meet once in the sign of Pisces every a long time. So the last time they met in Pisces was 1856. Okay, so when Jupiter and Neptune meet in Pisces, it is there's a duality to it, because on the one hand there are some potential negatives to it, but I would say the positives outweigh the negatives. So the possible issues with it is delusion, which we're all familiar with, deception, where you can't tell the wood for the trees, like all smoke and mirrors, you can't see clearly, because that's the energy of Jupiter, and Neptune is the ocean. So it can kind of become, it's boundless. It's not, there are no boundaries. There can also be quite a lot of water issues, like flooding and that kind of thing, and that was actually happening in 1856. There can be things like hypnosis, which we've also experienced. So there can be more of that.
Mass hypnosis.
Yeah. Drugs, because Neptune actually rules drugs. So drugs on whatever level that comes out as. And they can also...
So that would be drugs, sort of like self-medication. It could also be the pharmaceutical industry.
Pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah, there's an interesting
an expansion of that.
Oh, goodness.
There could also be inflation of oil prices, because Neptune rules oil, and we're already seeing that. And then virtual reality, if you look at it, because Neptune is illusion and virtual reality is illusion, and that's what's being kind of set up for us. So those are kind of things just to be aware of. And also around that time, from now all the way through to May, just to be aware of, what's the truth, and to reconnect constantly with what's the truth inside, not what I'm hearing outside. Does it resonate with me? Does this that I'm reading or hearing, does it resonate with me? So that's huge.
Yeah, and that's really
Issues
important.
Of truth and trust.
Yeah, because the mind can be hypnotized, the mind can be lied to, the mind can be confused, the mind can go into fear. The heart, on the other hand, is a place of truth. And I would suggest that what we need more than anything else is an inner compass, to listen to this quiet inner knowingness, not to be confused by what the head is telling us, but to listen to what does the deepest part of you say.
Yeah.
And it always comes very quietly. It's just a quiet knowingness.
Exactly.
And the other interesting thing about 1856, just from going back into my records when I used to do talks on the Mayan calendar, was 1856. There was something, I think it was called the Carrington Flare.
Yeah?
And that was a massive solar flare.
Oh, really?
And they said that if that flare on the global scale isn't as big as some of them we've had in the past, but in the immediate past, it's actually quite a large flare. And it's interesting to see that it comes through, that we're coming back to that cycle again.
And we are having a lot of those.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that flare was so big that if it occurred today, they said it would wipe out all our satellites.
Wow.
And would probably wipe out all our electrical grid. So let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Well, you never know.
Let's just see. But I would suggest that we must all be prepared for surprises this year.
I think so. And that's what I'm coming to, because it was also, apparently that time was also quite, the spiritualist movement was really
very strong.
Very strong. And the other side to it, which I actually feel the energy of these two together, the potential of it, is it's a very fine, high level energy. It's etheric, it's fine, it's finely tuned, it's divine, it's magical, it can be very mystical, very psychic, miraculous. It can be all of those things or any of those things. It's the energy that helps us to manifest and to step into our role more and more of co-creators. Realizing, and I was just thinking when you were saying the awakening, The awakening is also awakening to our potential
And our
as
power.
co-creators. Yeah.
That's right.
That whatever we're intending in this moment, we are putting out into the field. And we've spoken about it a lot. We can talk a bit about that as well. So it really does. It heightens our connection, our intuition, our spiritual journey. If we want it to, will be exponentially increased this year.
Yeah.
If we decide to do that, if we choose to focus on that, whatever we choose to focus on. And it also represents, it's boundless, it's kind of unconditional love. It's that, it's the ocean, walls in the ocean. You're connected to me, I'm connected to you, we're all swimming in the same ocean. And it's unconditional, it's connected. It's that feeling of us all being one. That is Pisces.
And that is awakening. That is awakening. Awakening is really the realization that you're not this little confined consciousness in a meat suit. That we are in fact the ocean. That is our true essence. And as we realize that, so we step into our true creatorship. And, there are many people going through, because of the lockdowns and because of the many other things, people are finding a lot of insecurity and problems with money, for example, and meeting one's needs. And there was an old way of doing that. And the old way of sorting that out was to put your foot on the pedal a bit more and pedal harder and try and do it through work, to create your needs.
Force.
Yeah, through that. This awakening, this year that we're going through, is to step into an entirely different way of dealing with your life's needs. To step into the field of abundance. Now, the field is an energy field. It doesn't work. It doesn't need work. It works on intention. It works on vibration. It works on this feeling that we have within us. It works on your inner knowing and reflecting back your inner knowing. They say the universe is like a giant photocopy machine. What you hold in your heart manifests back at you. So this is a year, I think, for clearing, surrendering.
Surrendering, letting go, releasing.
And stepping into
Yep.
your full authentic ownership of your ability to create. And that is, I say, not on the doing side, it's more on the being side. And knowing that there is an intelligence called life that is more than capable of miraculously meeting all our needs. And to let go of this idea of work as something that we have to do as a drudgery, and stepping into a new way of just expressing your unique gifts in a unique way, that can hardly be called work. It is doing, but it is doing in a joyous way, in a creative way.
Yes.
And from that, you'll find your needs are met from many other avenues, not just as a direct response to your doing this like it used to be in the old days. You used to have to work for your salary check. And I believe that now we express ourselves as these divine creative beings, and then life finds ways of meeting our needs miraculously.
Yeah. And it is very much about creative energy. So it's dancing, that the sign of Pisces is dancing with, it's flowing with. So it's the words like flow, dancing, instead of I have to do this, I have to work at this.
Yeah.
Use the words, how can I dance with this?
Yeah.
I have to do this, how can I dance with it?
That's beautiful.
As opposed to, how do I work at this? Because that's very often how we start the year. I've got to work really hard to get to all these goals that I've got that I have to get to. This is not like that. This is a flow of how can I actually flow? And that's going to break down some of that barrier stuff, some of that I sort of see it as static energy. It's the old versus the new, and the law versus it's very harsh energy. And this is gentle but powerful energy. So it's almost yielding, like getting there by yielding. And there was a beautiful saying by a Chinese scholar back in some really early century. And he said, water always wins the last race, but by yielding. It doesn't attach, but it always gets to its destined course. And that's what this here is about. It's not about attaching, it's letting go of attachments. It's releasing, it's surrendering, it's trusting. It's actually trusting that flow.
And stepping into that flow. Our main work is to step into flow. That's our main work,
That's
in
it.
inverted commas. And stepping into flow is the opposite of work. It's actually surrender.
Yeah.
That's what it is. To be present. Because presence is life. And life is always in flow. It's just we are not aligned with that flow. You know, that acronym OWL, which is very wise. And OWL stands for one with life. What is life doing in this moment? What is life urging us in this moment to participate with, to dance with? Yeah.
And what are we prepared to dance with? Are we prepared to dance? And a dance isn't necessarily that you know exactly what it's going to look like or where you're going to get. You're dancing to the music of life. Can we just dance to the music? Can we, get to this and then go, oh, this is interesting. Let's see where this leads. As opposed to having to try and sort it out with our heads and plan every last step, because I don't believe that's going to work this year. It doesn't really work ever, but it's going to work less this year. In fact, it's probably going to be more confusing if we try and do that. So it's almost blocking the flow in a way. Where it's like, this has got to be done and then that's got to be done. It isn't like that.
Because the mind loves predictability. The mind works on old patterns. I mean, that's what it does. It doesn't have an access to creativity, but it works on old patterns and projecting those patterns forward in time. And, I believe that works pretty well when life is in a straight line and it's predictable. Like driving through the Karoo in South Africa, it's, you can drive for a couple of 100 kilometers and not even turn the steering wheel. But when you get to the Western Cape and you come through the mountains, you have to be very alert and very awake. And that's really the process we're going to be going through this year. You have to be alert and you have to be awake and you have to be ready to respond in the moment to what life is offering us in the moment. Instead of being so attached to outcomes, and future goals, we're going to really be with that flow of life in this moment. Enjoying, as Michelle says, the step that you're taking now, because that's what dancing is all about. It's not about the end of the dance and getting over there on the dance floor. It's about enjoying this particular step with the people that you're taking it with in this moment. It's about enjoying life, not trying to force life into a direction that your mind wants it to go.
Yeah, flowing with being flexible. It's another one. Being flexible. Not being static about it's got to look like that and now it's not like that, so it's wrong. No, we don't know. We just know that this is the next step that's presenting us with. How can we flow with it and enjoy it and dance with the people that we're meeting and dance with the situation that's presented to us? So I really do see this as a shift in frequency and a paradigm shift. We've been talking about it for a long time. It's not going to happen just like that. It's part of the big picture. And there's still a lot to be revealed and there's still a lot to process. But we've got this additional kind of very strong, beautiful energy. And the way to harness it is, as John said, in that still place. To bring that into our day. Not to just do, to do it in the morning or the evening, whenever you do it, to bring yourself into that stillness, but to bring that into your day. Punctuate our days with pauses, with moments of stillness, moments where you can just breathe and say, okay, what's happening right now? What do I respond to? What am I dancing with right now? And if there's a feeling that's coming up, can I just flow with this feeling? Let it flow through you. It needs to flow through you because it is.
And as I said right in the beginning in the meditation, I said, let peace be our purpose this year. And a destination is made up of all the steps we take. So each step is a step in alignment with peace, or am I going to war? And that's just, you become more mindful of every step that you take and the direction that you want that step to take. Because Michelle mentioned earlier, home, the acronym for home. Was Heaven on Mother Earth or Hell on Mother Earth, which is exactly that. Which one? And I'm going to suggest that hell is very much about fear. False evidence of appearing real. I am what I do. I am what I have. I am what other people think of me. That old paradigm of control. Where love is something entirely different. And heaven on earth is about love. It's about stepping back into love. To realize that we are in an ocean of love. It's only the mind with its barriers and its separation that is involved in fear. And if we dissolve those misperceptions and align ourselves with life, we step back into love. We don't create love. We don't have to go and fetch it. We don't have to earn it. We just step back into it. And it's a stepping back, not a stepping out of ourselves, but a stepping back into our true, authentic essence in this moment and making peace our purpose.
Yeah, and the realization really, isn't it, that we are it.
Yeah. Awakening is a realization, to see with real eyes, to see what is really here in the moment. Not what the mind thinks is here, but what is really here. That's realization. And self-realization is actually God realization, because the real essence of who you are is the ocean, and the ocean is the divine. So it's really, self-realization is recognizing our true, authentic essence as the divine. That's really what it is. We are the divine. We are a spark of the divine. We are a drop of water in the ocean. And all we have to do is dissolve those barriers around the drop, and suddenly the drop is the ocean. It's only that membrane of judgment, of preferences, of resentment, and of time-based thinking that separates us from love.
Yeah, and it's releasing all those ego constructs that take us away from that, isn't it?
Yes.
That I am what I am what I own,
Yeah.
I am my name, I am my body, I am my mind. Well, I'm not. So this is the year to really say, who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I?
Who am I?
If that all went away, if I lost everything, if I didn't have a name, if I didn't have a house, if I didn't have a body, who am I? What's deeper than that? That's what this is about. This literally, that's what this is about. And we've never experienced this before in our lifetimes, and we'll never again. So it's that is liberation.
It is liberation. When realizing who you really are is complete liberation. That's what it is. I just want to go back a bit. The ego is the identity that we have, and that is really a vehicle for us to experience ourselves in the human realm. Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with having a vehicle. I mean, we've got a lovely car, and we went quite a few 100 kilometers this weekend in it, and we met some amazing people, and we're so grateful to have that vehicle. It's a beautiful vehicle. And end of the day, there's nothing wrong with the vehicle, but if we completely identify who we are with the vehicle, we're mad. We're completely insane. And that's the problem. We have completely identified who we are with the ego. And the ego is not the problem. It's our identification, it's our attachment to our things that we have, to our experiences, to the work that we do, to our relationships, to the stories that we tell. It's our attachment to that, not the stories, not the possessions. They're not the problem. It's our sense of self invested in those that actually limit our realization of who we really are at the deepest level. And in order to fully love, one has to know who you are. When you know who you are love, then you're more fully open to allowing that love to flow through you. When you think you are your car or your desk or your computer or your relationships, then you are closing the door to love, because that's a misperception. And you said about illusions in March to May, about illusions, and I'm going to suggest that every illusion has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the end of every illusion is disillusionment. And it's beautiful when disillusionment happens. Welcome it, because it means that old illusion is going, it's gone, it's shattering. Yeah. And normally, because we hold on to our illusions, we don't want them to end. There's pain and suffering at the end of an illusion. It doesn't have to be. There can be joy, because you've now broken free of that old illusion.
Yeah, and also those old stories, those stories that make we believe actually are who we are, and then we don't want to let go of them because they give us a certain amount, we think, of security. So very often we don't want to let go of the stories because it feels like it's who I am, this story that I've attached to, this victim story, or the fact that I'm a survivor of X, Y, Z. That's a story which, if you attach to it, you can't be free. And so when you realize that that's just it's part of your dance, it's part of your life this time round, and you can let it go, you're liberating yourself. You're not separating yourself from yourself. Yeah.
It's also letting go of the stories. You spoke there about the victim, sort of letting go of that. But it's also letting go of those positive stories. We love to hold on to the positive stories that drag us away from presence, that take us into the past or project into the future.
If only.
Those stories are also a problem, the positive and the negative.
It's true.
You know, in life we have these waveforms, these positive and negatives. And in fact, we are the 0 point between the positive and the negative. So that's true awareness. That's where love sits, just in this non-judgmental awareness of accepting this moment as it is. That's love. It's not positive. Love is not positive. It's not negative. It's just an isness. And so it's to drop the positive stories that we tell ourselves and the negative stories. You know, I won the Olympic 100 meter, whatever, 19, whatever, you know, and that's who I am. No, yeah, it may be a good thing, but in fact it's robbing you of life in this moment, because that's not who you are. That was something you experienced. It's not who you are. And so this is a time this year of dropping all those false identities that we have and coming back into reality, coming back into who you really are. Who are you really, really, really? And if you're unsure of who you really, really, really are, and if you're unsure of what you really, really, really want, then do join us on our 13-week Journey to Freedom course, because we go quite deep into that.
We do. Yeah. And you do reveal that.
Yeah.
And we all need to be reminded of it. So if you've done it before, you can do it again, because we always need to be reminded of it, because we do attach to the old. And we you know, I've heard a lot of people, I've heard myself saying it, you know, gee, I missed that before this all happened. What happened to the old days when you could X, Y, Z? And I think we've all got to realize that those old days in that form are gone. They're never coming back. Yeah. They're coming back in a different form, I believe a better form, much better, much more real, much more authentic, much more heart-based, much more... We're building a new earth here. So we're going to be birthing something brand new, but it's not going to look like the old. So the more we try and hang on to the old and be nostalgic about the old, the more we're going to get dragged back. As opposed to saying, we've got to let it go. It's gone. It's not coming back.
It's rather like watching a river. You know, if you're watching a river and you're seeing leaves float past you on the river, don't get attached to any leaf. Just allow them to go. Yeah. There's more leaves coming down the river there. And just allow each one, just focus where you're at and celebrate the uniqueness that life is giving you in just this moment.
No.
Part of that is trusting that life is always going to meet your needs, because it always has and it always will. Not necessarily the needs of the ego, but the needs of reality. All your needs are always met. And our job is just to appreciate the uniqueness of this moment, whatever we're experiencing this moment. And that appreciation opens the door for abundance to flow through us, which is another module which we have in the Journey to Freedom course, isn't it? Abundance. Very important module. So this year is about opening, not closing, but opening. And opening what? Opening the heart. Letting go of all those old misperceptions, those beliefs, those attachments that have held us back for so long when we were meant to fly. So this is the year of awakening.
Yeah, so if you know of anybody that you feel would benefit from joining us, please just send them some information, send them to our website. And it's right for the time.
Journeysofawakening.com is our website. And if you have any questions or queries or anything you'd like us to address in these satsangs for this year, please just drop them into the comments box. And we don't answer the questions while we're live, but we definitely get back to everyone afterwards. So yeah, we love chatting to you in the comments section. So you can do that. Yeah.
Thanks.
So astrology, we've got a new moon coming, full moon, which is about releasing. And then we have March.
April.
April's the big one.
April's the biggie in terms of it's building to it. It's not an it's not an event on a day necessarily. No. It's building to it. So we kind of preparing the ground for that. So the more we can stay in presence now, the more we can come home now, the more we can make a choice of which home we want to live in, heaven or hell.
Yeah.
That's gonna bode that's gonna determine what kind of journey I believe 2022 is going to be. Yeah. We decide what journey it's going to be.
Yeah. And the important part is, again, and repeat it, the year is not about an outcome. It's about the process.
Yeah.
And, you know, what you're going to experience in the future is very much predicated on what seeds you're sowing now. Are you sowing seeds of fear and anxiety and resentment, or are you sowing seeds of gratitude? Make peace your purpose in this moment, and you will experience peace, because whatever you plant grows. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
You're going to lead us out with a...
I'll lead you out, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
And then we're going to draw an affirmation card for the week ahead. So do stick around after Michelle's meditation.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's just settle in if you're not settled in already. And take a beautiful deep breath in. And a relaxing, releasing breath out. And another deep, full breath by expanding your belly on the in-breath and bringing that breath all the way up, up, into the chest. And then a big release, a big sigh. Sigh it all out. Sigh it all out. Let it all go. And feel the day and the weekend and maybe the week. Feel it all just float off you, melt off you. And another deep, beautiful, gentle, slow breath in. All the way in. And then a deep, slow out breath. And just allowing your body to relax. With each out breath, see if you can release and relax your body even more. So starting with your feet, relax your feet completely. Allow your lower legs, your knees, your thighs, your buttocks, just allow those to become very heavy and very relaxed. And send this wave of relaxation up through your body, through your torso, up through your spine, all the way up into your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Allow your arms to become heavy, relaxed. Open your hands. Just resting in a non-resistant, open way. Put your shoulders back a little bit. And breathe into your heart. Deep breath in, as if you could expand your heart on the in-breath. And out. Then bring this relaxation up into your neck. Relax the muscles around your neck. Into your jaw. Relax your mouth, your nose. Those teeny little muscles around your eyes. Smooth the worry line off your forehead. Relax your ears. Relax your scalp. And now just be aware of your breath as it flows in and out. With no trying, no forcing, just allowing it to be there as it is. This breath is our anchor. A couple of really deep breaths in the middle of any situation will bring you back home. So allow yourself at this moment to come home with your breath. As you exhale, open more. As you exhale, soften more. Allow yourself to just drop in to this very, very still place. This place of peace. This precious place of presence. This gift. Just allowing yourself to float into it, to gently drop in, just like a feather would fall very slowly waft and float onto a really, really calm, peaceful body of water, landing very, very gently. Allow yourself to land gently. And just feel what you feel in this moment. As you come home to you, come home to who you really are. You come home to the only reality. And if anything should enter your mind, you just allow it to drift on down the river of life, and you come back to just this moment. And in this moment you open. In this moment you surrender. In this moment you connect with the essence of who you really are, which is pure love. Connected to all. At one with all. Unified. At peace. And any intention that you would like to plant in the seed of some fertile soil, you can plant it now. There should be an intention based in the present. Just allow it to settle into the soil of your soul, into the love soil. If you're feeling peace at this moment, just know that you can connect with this anytime. It's always here. Always here. It just takes 1 or 2 conscious breaths and a choice to return to this place. To soften and surrender just to this moment. Now take a beautiful deep breath in and out, and another really beautiful deep breath in and a releasing breath out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
That was beautiful. Wasn't that beautiful? Hope you enjoyed that. I did.
Good.
Really beautiful.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you. So we have an affirmation for you for the week ahead. Now, an affirmation is about creating a future reality and bringing it into the present moment. So it doesn't necessarily, you don't have to believe it to be true in this moment, but the more you say that affirmation, you actually override those old patterns inside you, and you create that reality in your neurology, in your mind. And in that, we create the reality in our external circumstances. So we're creating a future reality and bringing it into the present moment. So what is today's?
It's the card says, I am enlightened and I radiate peace into the world.
That's beautiful.
How beautiful is that?
I am enlightened and I radiate peace into the world. I'm not doing peace, I'm just radiating peace.
Yeah,
So that's beautiful. I'm enlightened and I radiate peace into the world. I'll photograph that, I'll put that up on the Facebook page, and you can use that to filter all the information that you're going to navigate this coming week through that affirmation. Make that your truth. Thank you for being with us tonight. We really honor you for spending the hour with us in the satsang. And it is important work, because as we sit here in stillness, in peace, so that radiates out into the world, and as it does really help dissipate the unconsciousness in the world at this time and help others awaken. Just through you being peaceful and you being centered and you being present, you actually facilitate that process unbeknown in others. So it's beautiful. Where two or more gathered, there I am. Thank you for being with us. Have a blessed week and enjoy the full moon.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Lots of love. Thank you.